What happened that evening?
We were just watching the movie, it had just started, and the whole scene with Bane, with the plane crash, and then all of a sudden, this is a few minutes into the movie. I remember them showing a picture of Catwoman because she had just stolen Bruce Wayne's diamonds, and then all of a sudden I hear the exit door open, and I recall a couple things flying through the air, and one, my initial thought was a smoke bomb, and I was thinking to myself, oh, you dumb kids, you know, you just ruined the movie, everyone has to leave. And I heard the door close, so I thought whoever did it just ran off, and then the rate at which the smoke bomb, what I thought at the time was going was, it wasn't like any smoke bomb I had ever saw. So, and then you immediately start coughing, and then I realized something else was going on, and I heard the exit door open again, and at that time, I heard shots go off. I didn't even get a chance to look who came in the exit door, and I immediately told my wife to get down, and I ducked down with Ethan, and just hearing gunshots and screaming.
What do you recall doing after you had ducked down with Ethan?
So I ducked down with Ethan, and something just didn't feel right. I was ducked down underneath the chair, and I look up, and Ethan's head was exposed. He had got caught in between the two seats in front of us. So I tried pulling him through, and he wasn't coming through the seat. So I jumped over the seat with Ethan into the aisle in front of us.
What happened after you had jumped down to the seats with Ethan?
Yeah, I remember laying down in the aisle over with him and just, hearing gunshots and screaming and thinking to myself, you're processing everything, and, I'm just thinking whoever's doing this they're coming to kill us, I can't just sit here. So I made a run for it, so we ran down the stairs, and at a point, you realized you weren't going to make it. Just that, people are dropping right in front of you, and at the time you feel like it's a nightmare. You can't really tell if it's reality. It's reality, but your brain's trying to process it, and people are falling down dead, and other people are just diving out of the way. And I made it down to about the second and third row, and I like juked in the second row, and people were just dropping there, and then I like ran back into the stairway, and I was like, I have to run back up. So I ran back up, and at that time I tripped on the stairway and landed on my forearm, and I placed Ethan down there, and I was like, I have to look for a way out. And I remember seeing the balcony right there, and so I ran over to it, and at that time, the shots had probably stopped for, to me it seemed a lot longer, but probably a second or two. And I looked over and was thinking if I could jump, and if there was anyone there, waiting to shoot me, and, and if I could jump with Ethan, and if he'd make it. And I turned around to look for him, and I couldn't find him. So, and then at that time, shots started going off again, really fast, and I was like, I have to jump or I'm gonna die. So I jumped off over the balcony, and I was thinking to myself, when I was down there, they're still in there. I have to go back and get my family, and I couldn't go back in there. I knew if I went back in there, I was gonna get shot or I was gonna get killed. So I ran out the movie theater thinking, I should call 911. So I ran out the movie theater through the concession area, and we parked my truck over to the side. So I was trying to call 911, and I could already hear the sirens, coming. And I was thinking, well, what do I do next? So, and I'm like, well, I don't know if they're going to have a shootout with the cops. I don't know, what's going on. So at that time I got in my truck and I drove across the parking lot right to the mall area. And I remember there were some girls and some other kids running, and I told them get in the back of my truck, and they looked at me because like I was crazy, because I mean they heard the gunshots too, and at that time I was just crying out, and I was dialing Patricia's phone over and over again, and all I could think in my head, it was, they're all dead, your family's done.
403, 401.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Objection 403, 401.
Sustained. Ask another question, please.
At some point in time, were you able to get in touch with your family?
I was, I got a phone call from a Colorado number, and, I have a 505 area code since I'm from New Mexico. So, I mean, I don't get 303 area codes ever. So I was hoping it was Patricia, and, so I immediately picked up the phone and asked her, I was happy to hear her voice. And at the same time, I didn't know how to tell her that I lost our son in the movie theater, and then she told me that she had Ethan and she had Azariah. So, and I asked if all of them were okay, and she said she had been shot, so I immediately drove right back into the parking lot of the movie theater and began searching for them, and we found each other, and she showed me her shot wound, and I told her to get in the vehicle.
I'm going to stop you right there.